Hey students, in a classification essay, it's your job to take a group of somethings, whatever they are, and divide them into categories according to a principle. That something can be anything. It could be flowers, theories, political systems, animals, people, whatever it is. You take it and you divide it and you say, there are 3 kinds of, there are 4 kinds of, etc., etc. And that's your job in a classification essay. Now, you've noticed, I'm sure, that in the textbook there's a theme for every chapter. This chapter about classification essays, the theme is diversity among people. There they are, the diversity among people. We classify all the time. In every conversation, there's classification going on. And for example, you don't have to classify all people like these Lego blocks. You could classify people I know, or my friends, or how about professors? Everything can be classified in one way or another. So the question really is, how do you classify? Well, for example, let's say you're going to classify the group called people, and your classification principle is going to be gender. Now, in the old days, we would say that was just male and female, but you've decided, no, you're going to actually have 3 categories. There are females, males, and maybe transgender as another gender. Maybe it is, or not. And you could end up with a classification, something like this, along the classification principle of transgender. Now, we classify a lot, as you know, and it's often a joke, actually. So we usually say, there's supposed to be cars in the rain here, and we say, well, there are 2 kinds of people. There are those people who say that when it rains, their car gets dirty. That's usually BMW owners. And other people who say, oh no, when it rains, my car gets clean. So classification is quite a normal thing for humans to do. But let's get serious, all right? Let's say you've decided you're going to write your classification essay about types of political systems. It's a little more difficult. Let's say you've decided there are 2 kinds of systems, only 2, and you would say there are democracies and dictatorships. But then you think, no, maybe I need a little more than that. So you've read a little bit and you've decided, no, I'm going to say, yes, there are 2 main kinds of political systems, democracies and dictatorships, but you're going to say that under the category of democracies, there are different kinds. Primarily, you can say, republics and monarchies. Republics are governed by an elected president, and a monarchy is governed by someone who is not elected, but it's an inherited title. And then you say, well, there are different kinds of dictatorships too. You can say there are religious dictatorships, and you can give examples of those. Or you can say economic dictatorship, and you can, for example, classify communist countries into that. Or not, as you choose. But one way or another, you need a classification principle, and you need examples to support that principle. Now then the question is, of course, how many paragraphs will your essay have? Well, actually, that depends. For example, in this example of political systems, you could have 4 paragraphs. You could have an introductory paragraph, always that, with a thesis statement. And then you might have 1 body paragraph about democracies, but you could also have 2 paragraphs, one about republics and one about monarchies. You could have 1 more body paragraph about dictatorships, or you could have 1 about religious dictatorships and 1 about economic dictatorships. Either way, you'll be writing a classification essay, and you're trying to account for all the different systems that exist. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to reading your classification essays.